Have you ever looked around a room full of people who seem to have it all together and assume that you're the only one that's struggling, like with your marriage, your health, your kids, whether this is all worth it? I've been doing leadership development programs for over 20 years on 6 of 7 continents. And here is one thing I can tell you with absolute certainty. The thing that you're carrying, the thing that you're convinced makes you broken, weak, not successful is the exact same thing that the people around you are thinking. Not about you, about themselves. But you just don't know it because nobody's talking about it. I want you to stick with me for the next 5 minutes because this might be the most freeing thing that you hear all year. Hi, I'm Jenny Evans. I am a speaker and executive coach, and this is the next video in my series, What I've Learned from Over 20 Years of Working with Fortune 500 Leaders. The whole point of this video series is for all of us to learn from successful people's mistakes so that we don't end up making them ourselves. All right, let's get into it. I've spent most of my career in front of groups of leaders from New York, London, Dubai, Hong Kong, groups of engineers, groups of executives, people from cultures I didn't grow up in, industries I don't work in. And here's one very important thing that I have learned. What is most private is most universal. During our leadership sessions, when we really get into doing the deep work and it's the point where somebody has the courage to actually name and share the challenges that they've been carrying, there is this huge shift in the room. The person 3 seats down realizes that they've been struggling with the exact same thing. The person across from them nods in recognition. There is a huge sense of relief when they realize that they're not the only one. Beneath all of the titles, the roles, the gender, the cultures, underneath it all, we are so much more the same than we are different. What I have learned is that as human beings, we all pretty much want the same things out of life, and we all pretty much struggle with the same things in life. We're worried about our kids. We're worried about our relationships. We struggle with our health. We wonder if we're making as much of a difference in our own and other people's lives as much as we want to. And then when this realization happens, there are some amazing things that happen in that room. The first is the walls come down, and not in some squishy, feel-good ways, but there's a sense of honesty and truth and vulnerability where there's a safety for people to show up as their real human selves, the successes, the messes, the failures, the struggles, and a sense of permission for other people to do the same. And that completely changes how a team bonds, how a team connects, how they communicate, how a family gels, how personal relationships grow so much deeper. The second thing that happens is there is so much less othering, this idea that we're all so different and it's us versus them. I'm right, you're wrong. We realize that we are all fundamentally the same. We are all fundamentally human, that at the end of the day, we all want a lot of the exact same things in life. And I think this is so important because there is just so much divisiveness right now where we think there is so many differences between each other, we have way more in common than we really give ourselves credit for. Number 3, we just experience so much more connection. Instead of editing ourselves or being careful about what we reveal or say to other people, this just allows us to be our real selves and put all the BS on the shelf behind us where it belongs, and allows us to just really connect with a person, with an idea, or a project. And the 4th thing is that we stop isolating ourselves. We stop thinking that we are the only one. When we isolate ourselves, it's really easy for shame to start sneaking in. And shame is an icky feeling. We don't like it. And so oftentimes, things in our lives that feel shameful, we will actually try to ignore. And so we don't address the problems in our lives that are the big things that are really, really important. So it opens the door to empathy and compassion and possibility. And one of the end results of all of this is that you start showing up differently. You start showing up differently for yourself. There's less of the internal beatdowns, less of the shame that I just talked about. There's more compassion, and we show up differently for others. We're less judgmental. We do a better job of asking questions. We do a better job of listening. Everybody's carrying something that you've probably carried at some point in your life. You're carrying something that they've carried at some point in their life. I mean, I hate to tell you, but there is nothing special about you, okay? Like, this human storyline of struggle has been going on since the dawn of time. There's no new struggles. It's all the same human struggles. Just like the minor details are what make it unique and individual to us. And then we convince ourselves that we are the only ones that are struggling. So when we understand that we are all human beings trying to do the best that we can, there's just much more compassion in the world. And I really think we could use that right now. So be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and I'll see you in the next video.